Welcome to AH Tutorials, where we show you how to work on cars. Today I've been working on rear seats for a 1996 to 2000 two-door Honda Civic. So let's get to it. For this, we're going to be using some pretty common household tools. First, we're going to be using a size 10 gear wrench, or you can also use a ratchet with a size 10 socket on there. And we're also going to be using a clip remover, or you can also use a flathead screwdriver. The first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get into the trunk, and in the trunk we're going to unlock the hinges from the top of the seat, and we can bring the seats down. And the way you do that is there are two levers over here. There's going to be one here. There's also going to be one here, and we're just going to go ahead and pull on these latches, and you can now push the seats back. So we're just going to go ahead and do that for both of them. Now that we have the seat down, we can get to the bolts, and we can see the bolts by just moving up the cover a little bit. But if the cover gets in your way, you can just take your clip remover or your flathead, and there's some clips right here, and just get underneath it, pry up on it, and you want to take these clips out, and you can see that the cover is coming loose, and we can start pulling up on the cover. And you can see that there's two bolts right here. And we're going to go ahead and just take these out. And you can go ahead and take your size 10 gear wrench. And we're just going to undo these bolts. After you get those bolts out, there's going to be more, and they're going to be on this side. And there was supposed to be two here, but for some reason there's only one. Whoever worked on this car previously must have not put that second bolt in. And I'm just going to remove this cover. And there's going to be two more bolts that we need to get to. And they're going to be right here. Once you get all the bolts out, we can now take out the seats. And first we're going to want to take this one out, the small one. And you just rest it on the side. And if you look here, there's another 10 bolt, size 10 bolt. And we can take this off. And once we take that off, we can take off the other side seat. And now we could take off both seats. Just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and start working on the bottom seat, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to want to make sure you keep this bracket, the one that was here. And after we've gotten the seats, the top seats out of the way, there's going to be a size 10 bolt down here. And we're going to go ahead and just take this off. Now we can, after that bolt comes out, pull the seat out of its spot, and the sides are going to come out fairly easy, but the middle you're going to want to pull up on it from here. And you can see now that it's just going to come out, and you can put your new seat back on, or you can just put your new seat on. And we're going to just show you how to do that now. And the way we're going to do that is there are going to be some hinges all around, and there's going to be places for them. And you can see that this hinge is going to go into this hole, and this hinge is going to go into this hole, and this middle hinge is actually going to slide in through here. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to show you. You're going to want to make sure you slide the middle hinge in first, and to make sure that you have it in, you can just pull up on the middle, and the sides just should fall in place afterwards. And a good way to make sure that you did this right is if the threading lines up with the hinge over here. And we can go ahead and just start putting the bolts back in now. And we're going to just use our fingers to tighten the bolt first in its place. And once we tighten it, we can use our size 10 gear wrench. And we're going to want to make sure this bolt is on there tight. And now finally we can put the top seats in. And we're just going to lay it like this. And if you see here, there's a point. And we're going to want to make sure this point goes inside of this right here, this hole. And we're going to want to make sure it goes in. And after we put that in, we can put this hinge back on. And we're going to tighten it back up with our hands. And then you can use your size 10 gear wrench to tighten this up. And now you can see that you can still move the hinge around, and we're going to use that to put the other seat back on. Now we can just flip this over. And we can make sure that the hinges go back on top and line up the holes. Once you've lined everything up, you can start putting the bolts back in. And it's going to be the same thing on this side. Make sure the hinge lines up with the holes. And now we can start threading the hinge back in. I can just tighten these back up. And now we can move the cover back in its place. And you can see the way this works is that the carpet has holes in them. And there's also holes in the metals as well. You can see. And you're just going to want to line up the carpet holes with the holes in the metal. And then we can just put the clip in. Now we don't have all the clips because whoever worked on this car previously must have lost them or something must have happened, not too sure. But we only have a few of them. But you're going to want to put all those clips back in. And once you do that, you can move the seat back up. Everything should work fine. You can sit in your new seat. And that's how you do it. That's how you change your rear seats. Thanks for watching.